Good evening. This is the governing board meeting for the Phoenix Union High School District number 210 for October 2nd of 2025.
30. Oh,
Backdating it, sorry.
the special meeting is called back to order. Will the secretary please note that all board members are now present? The first item on the agenda is 3B, motion to adjourn executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn executive session?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion to adjourn has been made by Board Member Meyer and seconded by Board Member Pastor Rivera. Is that what I heard? On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3C, motion to instruct the designated representatives of the public body regarding matters discussed in executive session as necessary. Is there a motion to affirm instructions given to representatives of the public body in executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second? A motion to affirm instructions given by two representatives has been made by Clerk Oliver and seconded by Board Member Cross. Any discussion? On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 3D, a motion to adjourn the special meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn the special meeting? I motion to adjourn the special meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion to adjourn has been made by myself and seconded by Clerk Oliver. On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. And now we do this other one. The regular meeting is called to order. Will the secretary please note that all board members are present? Please note that today's meeting is being live streamed. Also, we offer Spanish interpreting services at the back of the room.
Si necesita intérprete en español, favor de mirar a nuestro intérprete que se encuentra a un lado del cuarto. Gracias.
The first item on the agenda is 1C, Pledge of Allegiance and Moment of Silence. We will stand as Board Member Cross leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing while a moment of silence is observed. Thank you, and please be seated. Next item on agenda is 1D, Land Acknowledgement Statement. Please remain seated as Board Member Meyer reads the PXU Land Acknowledgement Statement.
The Phoenix Union High School District is responsible for and committed to creating educational environments that prioritize the achievements of Native American students. We are committed to making their cultural identity visible by acknowledging that our school district resides upon the ancestral lands of the original caretakers, the Huhukam, ancestors of the Akimel Odoham, Ankimel Otham, Tono Otham, and Akchin. These sovereign nations are presently known as the Gila River Indian Community, Salt River Pima Indian Community, Thonam Otham Nation, and Akchin Indian Community. This formal acknowledgement is dedicated to the 22 sovereign nations of Arizona. Phoenix Union understands the importance of providing reparations through truth-telling. We recognize the historical injustices not traditionally taught in the classroom and are committed to practices prioritizing Native American knowledge, history, representation, and healing. We commit with an open mind to always respect the land, its histories, and its ancestors.
Thank you, Member Meyer. Representative Marquez, will you please read the art display or present the art display?
Carl Hayden's High School's Visual Arts program offers a wide range of creative opportunities through courses such as explorations in art, ceramics and drawing, and paintings. These classes are available at all levels, including advanced placement. Students may choose to focus on a single discipline throughout their 4 years to develop specialized skills or explore multiple areas to gain a broader understanding of visual arts. The Explorations in Art course emphasizes creative problem solving and encourages students to push the boundaries of their imagination. Students work with a variety of materials and techniques and are challenged to think innovatively and pursue unique artistic outcomes. The Ceramics 1 students just completed and glazed their first pinch pot project, and they learned the invaluable and ancient techniques of pinch, scoring, and slipping. The Ceramics 3 students utilize sgraffito, and slump and hump molds to create unique pieces of art. Ceramics, 5 students are working on individual projects with a personal theme of their choice. In drawing and painting, students are currently focused on creating a strong sense of depth by effectively using value and texture. As a two-dimensional art form, mastering these elements is essential for producing realistic and visually compelling work. We invite you to enjoy and celebrate this incredible artwork created by our talented Carl Hayden High School students. Thank you for your continued support of arts in our schools. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 2A, recognitions and accomplishments. Tonight's celebrations are set to be uplifting as we honor both Hispanic Heritage Month and LGBTQ History Month. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, tonight we open our celebrations with a performance from the Falcons Folclorico de Macha. This group is composed primarily of English language development students who traditionally are not always able to participate in extracurriculars due to the time demands of acquiring a new language. The Mecha group, dedicated to promoting Hispanic culture and music, decided to recruit these young people so they could develop and share their talents. Our group performed for the first time in September 2022, and since then, we have presented at various schools in our district, including Carl Hayden High School. We have also performed at the Arizona State Fair and other significant events, such as the Science Center fundraiser supporting public schools. Through this program, students preserve their heritage while projecting pride in their cultural identity. Under the direction of Alma Rodriguez, let's give it up for Falcons Folclorico de Mecha. Board Member Pastor Rivera.
Before I begin, there's a lot of personal honor as a community member and pride of the bravery of our students for this celebration. Our next recognition this evening is in honor of LGBTQ plus History Month. As you know, Phoenix Union prides itself on creating inclusive environments for all students to thrive. In honor of this month, students from Betty Fairfax High School and the academies at South Mountain Gender Sexuality Alliance Clubs put together a video presentation for the board and community to watch this evening. Included in this video are students from Cesar Chavez High School theater class honoring history makers within the movement. Here to present this video are GSA sponsors, Mr. Ryan Usuri from Fairfax, Mr. Ted Combs from the academies at South Mountain.
Thank you. Good evening, President Napa, Governing Board, Superintendent Andrade, Executive Team, and community. My name is Ryan Usuri, and I'm here this evening with Mr. Ted Combs. We are sponsors of the gender sexuality clubs at our campuses. We are joined by students in our GSAs as well as students from our neighboring campuses to highlight a special project this evening in honor of LGBTQ plus History Month. The project was created to dispel myths and highlight some historical figures from LGBTQ history. As you know, previous iterations of this board have adopted resolutions supporting our LGBTQ staff and students, with the most recent being the 2022 resolution supporting transgender youth. Our district is no stranger to stepping up and providing safe spaces where all feel included, valued, and appreciated. Although we don't always agree on every topic, we're not gonna, we always come together to support one another when called upon. The video you will see is our way of educating and celebrating this community. Today there are staff and students on our campuses who are scared. Many are scared to be here, scared of their own board, scared of the political landscape. Our schools mirror what happens in our communities, and there's been an uptick in hostile views towards LGBTQ plus people. One of the myths not included in this video attacks the core of our GSAs directly as indoctrination clubs, and this couldn't be further from the truth. Our GSAs function as a place to find community, to find support, and to encourage civic engagement to improve our schools. Our members are both from the community, as well as student and adult allies. We appreciate the involvement of board members at our spring GSA conference and look forward to hearing from them again. Interacting with our students is the best way to learn about them and remove these barriers. As you watch this video, please remember that we are stronger together and need to stand up for all of our students in the face of discrimination. It's only through knowledge and understanding that we can move past stigma and into acceptance and celebration. Thank you.
I'm a student of PXU.
I'm a teacher here at
Betty H. Fairfax.
A sister. A friend.
I am a Latino.
I am a brother.
I am a son.
Trans mask presenting non-binary person.
I'm a husband.
I'm a GSA ally.
Teacher.
I'm a father.
I'm Filipino and Mexican.
I'm a daughter.
I am a history teacher.
I'm a lesbian.
I'm a bonus father.
I am a best friend. A pansexual.
And straight ally.
I'm a member of the community.
Also, I'm an ally.
I am a member of the community.
I am a trans man.
Being LGBTQ+ is a choice.
This myth ignores the overwhelming scientific consensus that sexual orientation and gender identity are not choices, but inherent aspects of a person's identity. People don't choose to be LGBTQ+ any more than they choose their race or handedness.
LGBTQ+ people are confused or going through a phase.
This is often said about young people or those coming out later in life. It invalidates their experiences and identities. While some people explore their identity over time, that doesn't mean their feelings aren't real or valid.
LGBTQ rights are special rights.
LGBTQ+ advocacy is about equal rights, such as the right to marry, adopt, access healthcare, and live free from discrimination. These are not special rights, but basic human rights.
LGBTQ+ people don't have families or can't be good parents.
Many LGBTQ+ people have families, biological, chosen, or both, and are loving, capable parents. Research consistently shows that children raised by LGBTQ+ parents thrive just as well as those raised by heterosexual parents.
Marsha Payne Johnson. She was a Black trans woman who was a force behind the Stonewall riots and surrounding activism that sparked a new phase of the LGBTQ+ movement in 1969. Along with Sylvia Rivera, she established the Street Trans Action Revolutionaries, a group committed to supporting transgender youth experiencing homelessness in New York City.
Harvey Milk.
He was an American politician and the first openly gay elected official in the history of California on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Milk was assassinated almost 11 months into office in San Francisco City Hall by a former member of the city's Board of Supervisors. He was known as an effective and popular member of city government before his life was cut short.
Frida Kahlo. She was a Mexican painter and polio survivor, known for her creative self-portraits, namely the two Fridas, and self-portrait with cropped hair. Beyond her art, Frida became a world-renowned figure for being openly bisexual and often dressing in traditionally masculine clothing.
Kevin Jennings. In 1988, Kevin Jennings became the faculty advisor of the first Gay-Straight Alliance led by students at Concord Academy in Massachusetts. 2 years later, Kevin founded the LGBTQ+ education organization, GLSEN, seeking to end discrimination, harassment, and bullying based on sexual orientation and gender identity and/or expression in K-12 schools.
Stronger together.
Okay. Next item is 3A, reports from student government. Tonight we have student government representatives from Alhambra High School, Bioscience High School, and Metro Tech High School. Our student government representatives this evening will highlight their schools in this order. Clarice Poe and Andrea Verdugo from Alhambra, Tony Sotelo, Ayo Metzi Lopez from Bioscience, Samara Rodriguez Cruz, and Haley Munoz from Metro Tech. Welcome. Will you please provide your report? Alhambra. Are there any lions here?
Hello, my name is Clarice Poe. I'm Alhambra High School Student Body President.
And I'm Andrea Verdugo, your Alhambra's Student Body Vice President.
This semester, we hosted our Fall Sports Assembly where we introduced all of our fall sports and coaches. JROTC presented the flags, our choir sang the national anthem, and dance cheered and performed. We played interactive games with students, and the energy was outstanding.
The assembly was full of school spirit. One of our big goals this year is to increase student participation. We're proud to say that events like this are helping us get there. Our student sections are growing stronger every week, especially by incorporating home game themes to get spectators more involved by dressing up.
Over the summer, our student government worked concessions for the Nabi basketball tournament, hosting from July 22nd through the 26th.
For Suicide Prevention Month, we created a chain of hope. Students wrote inspirational messages, and we built a chain symbolizing our support for one another.
Our senior sunrise was also a huge success. Over 100 seniors showed up, activities including bracelet making, crown decorating, and hand sign-in. It was a memorable start to our senior year.
We also hosted Club Rush during lunch to showcase many different clubs on campus. This gave students the chance to explore activities, meet club leaders, and get more involved at Alhambra.
Next, we announced our homecoming theme at the Fall Sports Assembly, a starry night inspired by Vincent van Gogh's artwork. This year, we tried something new. Our homecoming dance was hosted right after our football game. It was a bit challenging due to bad weather, but we managed to get through and everyone had a great time.
And the day before, we had our homecoming parade. The parade went great, and the Lion Pride was strong. This year, Alhambra introduced sweeps to help reduce tardies, and it's working 90% of the time. Our students avoid being swept more than 3 times, You can see the hustle in the hallways between classes. Thank you to our APS security team, student success coordinator, and support staff for making this happen.
Another big initiative is LEO, Lunchtime Engagement Operation. Since we moved our lunch to one period, we're adding games, events, and club activities to make lunchtime more engaging and fun. The heat may have slowed us down a little, but we know this program will go stronger with this weather when the weather cools.
This year, Alhambra also introduced new AWDS, Advanced Weapons Detection Security Systems. These provide extra safety on our campus and have been integrated smoothly without causing delays for students entering campus. Students have shared that they feel safer with this system in place, knowing that our campus security is stronger than ever.
At this time, we want to thank our governing board for letting us speak and represent our school. Thank you.
Thank you. Bioscience?
Thank you, Clarice and Andrea. Good evening, President Napa, governing board members, and Superintendent and Andrade.
My name is Anthony Sotelo,
And my name is Ayometsi Lopez,
and I'm your student body vice president
and I'm your student body vice president.
for Bioscience High School.
To start off our presentation, we'd like to recognize a few of our staff members. First off, a congratulations to Mr. Aragon for being recognized as Administrator of the Year.
And congratulations to Ms. Loya for being recognized as Bioscience Teacher of the Year.
Before we continue on, we'd also like to give a few personal recognitions. First to Ms. Heisel, the student government sponsor.
And to Ms. Holbrook, our new college guidance counselor. To start off our year, our freshman Dragons have been pretty busy. They started off with Dragon Academy, a freshman introductory course where they get to learn about the bioscience community as long as get to make connections with peer and staff. Welcome class of 2029 to our family.
Next, we'd also like to highlight Club Crawl, where at the end of the school day, all students were welcome to explore and sign up for some of the 30-plus clubs offered on campus.
We'd also like to highlight our open house, where students were provided with free professional headshots. Senior families were provided with FSA ID support. We have a 98% completion rate, and we held community engagement booths.
After fall break, campus is going to begin to get busy again with our largest event, Olympic Games, where all students will be able to showcase their school spirit through friendly competition.
And then the following day, we'll have our homecoming, where students will be invited to dance, enjoy music, get snacks, and swing by our photo booth to take a picture with their friends. Following this, some of our goals for our bioscience community is to improve cleanliness on campus. NHS seniors will be dedicating some of their time after lunch ends to help clean up the lunch area, and posters and announcements will be made to remind students to pick up after themselves.
We'll also be partnering with Ms. Garapi, our community liaison, to make sure that there's enough feminine hygiene products in the bathroom for our students, and we'll also be partnering with other students through the Better World Project. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Metro Tech.
Thank you, Tony and Ayometsi. Our names are Samara and Haley, and we are the president and vice president of Metro Tech High School. At Metro Tech High School, we offer a well-rounded education. We focus on strong academics, offer different types of CTE programs, and sports.
Our culinary arts program recently underwent a remodelation equipped with new equipment and a refurbished kitchen.
This in-house student-run operation teaches business management skills in class. They just celebrated its 10th grand opening on September 16th.
A quick overview about the student government is that we host majority of our large events on campus and community service projects.
Student government organizes events such as the Women's Panel, which we have done for the past 2 years, assemblies, spirit weeks, and an upcoming haunted house at the Fall Festival on October 25th.
Students supporting students. Student government ensures athletes are recognized, and during these themed games, we raise awareness. For example, breast cancer or celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
We have events throughout the year. We wanted to highlight Soka Senior, a fundraiser for charity towards Special Olympics.
We wanted to highlight the Sustainability Challenge. Metrotech strives to inform students about sustainable practices. We are 2 times Phoenix Union Times winner for the challenge, and we plan on winning this year's as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Wait, oh.
Your turn now?
Oh, no, you're good. At this time, we wanted to thank the governing board for giving us the time to directly report about the success, activities, and opportunities that are afforded to the students of our school, as well as present the status of to help our schools with their issues and concerns moving forward. Have a good evening.
Thank you. The next item is 3B, reports from employee organizations. Our representatives reporting tonight are Mr. Esteban Flemons, CTA President, Ms. Anastasia Jimenez, CEA President, and Mrs. Vanessa Casillas, ADA President. Mr. Flemons.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, President Napa, Superintendent Andrade, governing board members, community here, and staff in attendance here and virtually. My name is Esteban Flemons. I'm the president of the PXU and CTA. I stand before you representing our 1,000 educators in PXU. I'm proud to stand here as a PXU employee on International Day of Nonviolence, as well as Yom Kippur. I appreciate every board meeting that I had the opportunity to address this body in our community, and I thank you guys for that. It's not every board does this, and it really means a lot to my members that we get a chance to have a voice every month. This first semester, or first quarter, not even semester, it's just a quarter, has had some struggles on a large scale that we know in PXU. Healing takes time, and I appreciate the understanding and support that this organization has given to affected members regarding time off, regarding change of schedules. It's really meant a lot to our people that are out there that the PXU understands and recognizes those situations and provides support and opportunities for everyone to be happy and healthy. Beyond that, though, at the same time, I know that we've had some other struggles, things with like our grade book that was addressed last month. And I want to take a moment and appreciate the leadership and recognizing the frustration that educators had with the grade book and taking pathways to go and address that. Through the task force that have been brought forth, through some of our standing committees like marks and grading, and really reaching out and finding out ways to make this better for everyone. Again, a lot of other districts won't do that. They just sort of say, hey, oh, sorry, and everyone's gonna get over it. But we really took that opportunity to say, nope, there's concerns, let's figure out how to fix it. And so I appreciate that, and my members appreciate that as well. And it's that mindset of growth and understanding and collaboration which has really helped this district move forward, and it's what I look forward to as we continue on. So thank you particularly to the Teaching and Learning Division for the work over the last few weeks and the willingness to listen, because I know that listening sometimes is really hard. But it's only through that we can get through. And especially listening to our practitioners, our teachers in the classroom that are dealing with the challenges and hearing what they have to say. So thank you for that. So as I started last month, we have our CTA props. So that's professionals recognizing other professional successes. And so this month, I'm going to recognize Miss Kat Vickers, who's standing here. And we've done better. We've got posters here, and we've got a gift card on the back that she's going to get. Miss Kat Vickers is the Student Success Coordinator at Cesar Chavez High School. She has been a variety of other things over her time here in the district. But the one quote I really want to share that her nominating person said is, quote, she's a true agency of goodness and kindness, committed to the ideas of restorative justice long before they were a buzzword. Kat's been doing the right thing since the start of it, and there's never been a question. And I know oftentimes right now we get caught up in buzzwords and hearing, well, this word means this to me and it means this to you. Kat's been doing the right thing because it's the right thing, always, no matter what it was called. And so for that reason, we want to recognize Miss Vickers today with this little poster. And again, it's a local vendor too, so we appreciate that it's local food vendors, so support the community. And so I just want Kat to come over here and just sort of accept this on behalf of CTA as long-term mayor. If we could all give her a round of applause, I'd appreciate it. And she's doing a great job at Chavez. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. And she's like, I'm off. I also want to thank all the board members who have been out supporting the bond and override. I know that Saturday was a little special with our little rain challenges. But being out in the community and explaining has been wonderful. I've appreciated seeing you all there, and my team has appreciated as well. And then lastly, in the spirit of doing what I believe is right, CTA always does gifts for our members, and I'd like to share these gifts with the board members as well. So these are here, and I will drop them over here since I don't want to walk the dais, so that's not allowed. But here's some gifts for the board members. It's a lovely little CTA lunch bag. We got a little stress ball, a pen, a sticker, our lovely Union Pride from Arizona Education Association. We'd love for you all to have and represent. But those will all be here. Please make sure to pick them up at the end of the meeting because we really do appreciate all of you in the space. And then non-board members, I will get you your gifts later. I ran out of bags today. With that said, thank you all for your work. And as always, CTA is here to do the things. If you have questions, concerns, you want to just have a conversation, please reach out to me or any of my team members. We're happy to sit there with you. And thank you all for this opportunity. If you don't have fall break, I'm sorry, but those that do have fall break, enjoy next week. It's much needed, and I will see you all in November. Thank you.
Thank you. CEA President, Ms. Anastasia Jimenez. Oh, there she is.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, PXU community members, educators, and allies. Thank you to our Superintendent Andrade and governing board members for your commitment to our district. I appreciate the continued invitation to speak alongside our sibling associations, CTA and ADA, on behalf of the majority of our respective employee groups here in PXU. So thank you all for joining us tonight. And then tonight, although I may be a little bit short in my report than usual, I would like to highlight some of our engagements. So CEA has been actively involved, and I'd like to recognize those that have been actively involved in those in the workings that we've been doing. So it's been tons of stuff. Most recently, it's been with our Phoenix Union, Yes for PXU, and DAA and Override, M&O and Override. And so with that, it's critical to maintaining a healthy school district for all. And so although this work does seem endless and tireless, it's necessary because of the ongoing defunding of our public schools. Our educators would rather spend their weekends, their well-deserved weekends, with loved ones, yet they're out in our community, rain or shine, supporting our students, schools, and colleagues. I don't know how many of you saw the rain last week, but it did make posting signage a bit easier for me. So that was it was exciting. I was pretty drenched, and I had people out there taking photos and stuff, and it's a little embarrassing. I look like a wet dog, but my hair was everywhere. But it's nonetheless, it's fun because it's connecting with our community members, getting out there, talking to folks, getting honks from people out in the street and stuff. So it's really fun. But on a personal note, I did have a close family member pass away in Tucson, and so I may get a little emotional, so excuse that. But I gave up one of her last living weekends to this community. And my message is this, is that we need this, but we deserve better. We know we deserve better. We all do. So we continue to fight for it. Excuse me. So I want to thank my CEA site representatives and elected leaders for their continued commitment to our association and beyond. The work you do is often thankless, but the impact is widely felt. CEA has ongoing canvassing opportunities over the next few weekends leading up to this election. So if you are interested, and I invite all of you to reach out to us in supporting our efforts, please don't hesitate to get in touch with your local site representatives or myself for more information. Secondly, given that funding is a hot topic right now, I wanted to acknowledge and thank the Budget Committee members, both voting and non-voting, for their engagement, discussion, and opportunities to address some of our district's most challenging financial situations. A special shout out to my CEA members on the committee, Mr. AJ Nito, Ms. Naomi Rivera, and Mr. Larry Larson. And to those behind the scenes supporting the logistics and coordination of those meetings, Ms. Fernanda Ordaz, and our various tech team members, thank you for your clean, efficient, and professional work in organizing such a meeting. And then lastly, I want to thank our interest-based negotiations team and all the stakeholders involved, and including those members that have made their voice heard through our input survey. We appreciate all of your input, and we face some upcoming challenges and changes, both ongoing and future. This year, I've developed a deeper respect and admiration for those at the table. The conversations can be tough at times, but they are always respectful. And CEA appreciates our other organizations, CTA and ADA, for their collaboration and support of our classified staff. We know the stakes seem high and higher every year, every negotiating year, but we look forward to the work we do in hopes of serving our constituents to the best of our abilities. Thank you to those behind the scenes organizing these meetings as well, Ms. Lori Nassif for one, and if I'm missing any others, I may be. Respectfully, please let me know because you deserve to be acknowledged as well. And thank you for all the work you do to ensure our meetings run smoothly and ongoing and note-taking. She does tons behind the scenes and she probably doesn't get enough acknowledgement, but shout out to Ms. Nassif. And then in closing, I hope that if you can, take some time for yourself this coming week and enjoy the moments with your loved ones or doing something that feeds your soul. I wish you all a restful fall break, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you. ADA President, Mrs. Vanessa Casillas.
Good evening, Superintendent Andrade, President Napa, and esteemed members of the Governing Board. We're proud to recognize Hispanic Heritage Month and October as LGBTQ plus History Month, a time to honor the contributions and resilience of the LGBTQ community in shaping our history and our future. Our leaders are always working to create safe and inclusive spaces for our LGBTQ plus students and staff. As we close out the first quarter, I want to acknowledge that it's been a challenging start. We have experienced serious incidents on our campus, and social media has amplified situations and at times giving a false narrative of what actually happened. Despite these challenges, our campus safety teams, administrators, and staff have been working tirelessly to keep our schools safe. Today, we have multiple layers of protection in place, AWDS systems, SROs on some campuses, and mental health supports that are unmatched across the state. These are not quick fixes on their own, but together they form critical layers of safety and support. If there were a single antidote to end all safety issues, it would already exist. But we know it takes all of these measures working together. We ask for your continued support in maintaining and expanding these protections, including additional SROs on campuses that do not currently have them. This will not solve every problem, but it will add another vital layer to our system of care and protection. It is also important to recognize that these challenges are not unique to us. Across the nation, violence has increased, hate speech has grown, and communities are struggling. When adults are not okay, our children are not okay. These realities remind us how important it is to keep strengthening every layer of support we provide. Finally, I want to acknowledge another concern weighing heavily on our staff: uncertainty about the future. Many are worried about their jobs, and these are valid fears. Please know that as leaders, we are standing together and we do everything we can to support our staff and campuses. As we head into the second quarter, I encourage all of us to take the time needed to rest and rejuvenate. We still have 3 quarters of the school year ahead, and we will get through it together by supporting each other every step of the way. We deeply appreciate your trust and continued support as we navigate these difficult times, and we remain committed to providing safe, inclusive, and supportive learning environments for every student in PXU. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 4A, call to the public.
According to ARS 38-431.01H, at the conclusion of the call to the public, members of the public body may respond to criticism made by those who address the public body, may ask the staff to review a matter, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, members may not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. We would like to caution members of the audience about commenting on a particular individual and thank you for not referring to any person by name. In order to avoid any concerns with interpretation services, please be aware of the following. We have a Spanish interpreter available to join you at the podium while you address the governing board. Only the PXU assigned interpreter will provide interpretation services. If you have a script on paper or on a device, we ask that you make it available for the interpreter. In order to provide accurate interpreting, we ask that you speak for approximately 2 to 3 sentences at a time and pause for interpreting. You will be given double the amount of time to address the governing board as a result. As usual, we ask that you end your comments when your official time allotment has ended.
Para evitar dificultades con los servicios de intérprete, tenga en cuenta lo siguiente. Tenemos un intérprete de español disponible para acompañarlo mientras se dirige a la mesa directiva. Solo el intérprete asignado por el distrito proveerá servicios de interpretación. Si tiene su mensaje en papel o electrónicamente, le pedimos que lo ponga a disposición del intérprete. Para brindar una interpretación precisa, le pedimos que hable aproximadamente de 2 a 3 oraciones a la vez y haga una pausa para el intérprete. Como resultado, se le dará el doble del tiempo para dirigirse a la mesa directiva. Como de costumbre, le pedimos que finalice sus comentarios cuando termine su tiempo asignado. Gracias por su cooperación.
All right, presentations tonight are limited to a maximum of 2 minutes. Tonight, we have the option for members to speak in public or participate virtually, which there are none. So we'll start with our people that are here in person. We will call on those who requested to speak in person. Please state your name, indicate the agenda item or topic you wish to speak about, and limit your presentation to 2 minutes. Our first speaker is Anthony Ray Ramirez Jr., and following that is Beatrice Cruz. Anthony Ray Ramirez Jr. Whole government name? No? Yeah? All right. Anthony, come back to me. All right, Beatrix Cruz, followed by Ash Olfers.
Hi, my name is Beatrice Cruz, and I represent Carl Hayden. I'm here to talk about the securities, the principal, and the lockdown and the safety of the students. Security, we know they have golf carts, but sometimes they can't get into the incident on time. And the tragedy of what happened yesterday really didn't sit right with me when security didn't get there fast. I understand our principal has too many on his hands, but make some time, come outside, see how your students are doing, come outside, talk to them, explore. And then the lockdown, the the small things happen. It doesn't matter if it was a fight or anything, small things happen, and it should be on the lockdown. Safety of the students, the principal said it's safety. To me, it's not safety. Kids are killing each other against each other. The stabbing, unfortunately, and in the incident that happened yesterday, I don't feel safe. The campus doesn't feel safe. Kids complain to their parents that they can't even feel safe at school because of this incident happened. Parents don't get notified email of what happened. My mom didn't get notified of what happened. So I don't know, moving on the future, there will be more communication between the principal of him coming out and talking to his students, because he's always in his office. Like, I get it, his hands are full, but like, at least come outside once a year, because he's putting the kids' life on jeopardy when they don't say a lockdown. To me, like, that doesn't feel right. Like, school, we go learn, come home.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you so much. All right. Anthony Ray Ramirez Jr., followed by Ash Olfers. Go ahead.
I'm here to speak mainly about Maryville and, well, the entirety of PXU. I've been at Maryville for 4 years. I've seen everything and, done mostly everything that a student could do. And I've asked questions about the metal detectors and all that. And from the research I found and the things I've asked, it's more of a 75 to 25 than a 50-50, as I would expect. Students would feel safer without them, as many more things have happened with them rather than without. And it's weird to think that, but it's true. And we've lost many counselors and many other students leaving the school after the metal detectors have been put into the school. And it's hard for me to see, like, friends, teachers, counselors. I've had 3 counselors when I was promised I was only going to have 2 after Fowler left, and that hurt. But the main thing I've been noticing more and more is that there's more students feeling less safe. There's more fights than there is any more violence, as in weapon violence. And that's okay, but there's always been fights. There's always been more fights than anything else. The incident that has happened last month, 2 months ago, it scarred me and my friends, and it hurt to know that someone has passed away in our campus, even though we were told that we were going to be safe after the metal detectors were put in. And me knowing that if we had something like more counselors or someone who could stop it faster, something that could have prevented it more, it would have helped us a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Ash Olfers, followed by Zach. Zach, you tested me.
Hello. Thank you for allowing us to speak. I just want to highlight the fact that in this red state and in this administration, you guys have been an absolutely guiding light that has allowed us to thrive and live. My name is Ash Olfers. I am speaking on the topic of LGBTQ History Month. I have been the president of the Fairfax GSA for a couple of years now. And I would just like to highlight the fact that you guys have been so unbelievably helpful and allowing us to thrive. A lot of you have come to our conferences and spoken, which has been really nice. I just want to highlight the fact that we still need your support. According to the Williams Institute at UCLA, 82% of transgender people will talk about suicide and 42% will attempt it. And I just want to talk about how important it is that you guys are here and that you guys are telling us that we are allowed to be ourselves. allowing us to thrive. We have had our conferences going for 3 years now, and in that we have had a lot of our speakers that are here today, including Ms. Andrada, coming to talk about how important it is. And I just want to thank all of you guys for being here, because just being here and just having us walk into a room and seeing you guys there with your flags just tells us that we're safe, and it tells us that we're okay. And especially during this administration, when every new day is a new threat. I just want to thank all of you for being here and being yourselves and being open about that. But yeah, thank you every year that you guys are still here, and you guys are still wishing us well, and you are still allies, and we are so happy that you are here. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ash. Zach. Seacross? Is it Seafrost?
Yes.
You be messing with me, man. You got to write legibly.
Pardon me.
After Zach is going to be Juan Esquer.
Hi, I'm Zach. I don't come to this board as a member of any organization, even if I am one. I come as a student who has seen students time and time again pushed aside, and how we spend our money. As a district, either on purpose or not, we are made to feel small, criminalized. Students are people that are able to make their own decisions, and that's why we don't choose the correct one all the time. What we need is a guiding hand, not cops or more cops. We need to stop this problem at the root of the issue, not watch it regrow into something worse than a knife. The idea that a metal detector can stop a child is extremely naive. We are intelligent and our own people. The counselors for students with psychiatric backgrounds, not counseling from a badge, is what's necessary. We rely on these SROs as counseling support when it's not necessary and they don't have the training, even if they care about the students' lives. If you hired 3 or 4 more, you'd be able to start seeing actual change in how we are able to speak and trust our administration and our people. If you are able to give the money to those people and keep these counselors that you guys are firing, instead of sending more money to metal detector factories, SROs, and SSOs, we would be able to keep our students safe, not under surveillance. Letting go staff with experience dealing with mental health is a mistake. And making sure that students younger have check-ins regularly and make sure that students feel safe while talking to adults is an extremely important part of the school system. And
thank you, Zach. Thank you, appreciate it. Juan Carlos Esquer, followed by Fernando Sanchez.
Hello, my name is Juan Carlos Esquer. I work at Camelback High School, and I don't think this item is related to any of the agenda items. And we all know that surprising teachers or notifying the teachers that they're losing their job, I know that it can be difficult. And I know that those choices for you and for everybody else is complicated. For principals, when they do their best, and I know it's complicated for them to have those conversations with the department, I just wish that there would be other, I don't know, just me. I think all teachers will find other ways for that issue to be resolved. When we're losing money, or maybe there's money that needs to be saved, I just look at the other choices probably that we can come together and then start deciding, instead of like moving the teacher out of the homeschool. I know that it has an impact on the school itself, like teachers and students. And even though other schools are going to welcome the teachers with open arms, I still think that we're still increasing student sizes in the classroom. And if we want to make sure that we meet the kids halfway or all the way, and we change their lives like one kid at a time, I think it's complicated when we're losing teachers' choices for electives, content areas, and then when we have classes with 34, I just think it's more challenging. And I think a disadvantage in a way for teachers is that no matter where we are and where we go, we're going to be doing our best. But I think sometimes it's like I don't know, not appreciated. Not saying necessarily by you. I just feel like the choices that are. I'm not addressing you meaning like negatively. It's just I'm just speaking out of what I see. And it was because especially like it was I work at Camelback, and it was just this week that we were notified that it was our turn in our department. And I see it coming like in 2 or 3 years, but I honestly didn't pay that much attention because it was the English department and it was another department. But I think that now when it hits you and your people, I think is now when you, at least you share what you feel like.
Thank you. Fernando Sanchez, followed by Ted Combs. Thank you for your books.
I'll put this here. All right. Hi, everyone. It's me again. Okay. Thank you for all of this, and see what happens when you forget a PowerPoint slide. Well, thank you, and it's really awesome to see the kids here. And we're going to have some kids from South come in and speak to you guys and congratulate you on all the hard work and just how wonderful you've been with us with the GSA conference and the support that we've gotten over the year. But there was a theater showcase, and the kids chose trauma over a board meeting, so can't blame them. But for me personally, I'm just kind of here to bring a couple of things to your guys' attention, or maybe not to your guys' attention. But within our department earlier this year, we had .2s, and I know that there's a lot of changes going on in the district. And yesterday, our teachers were notified in ELD that the .2s were being taken away, and then so tomorrow will be the last day they'll be working with the .2. But there's a growing conversation, and there's something that's taking up a lot of space within our department, and that's the fact that our teachers have not been paid those .2s yet. So like you've told them when their work will be over, but not when they'll receive any kind of payment for the .2s. If someone could please contact those teachers and kind of let them know when they can expect the back pay for the work that they've done so far this quarter. And another change that's going on, I'm in ELD, and I know that we're consolidating a lot of things. And if you guys could please be a little better at communicating with your teachers. So, like the ELD plan that they came up with last year, that's pretty much over with. So now as an intermediate teacher this year, they're combining intermediate 1-2 and intermediate 3-4 into one class, and that's fine and everything, but as the teacher of that room, we were not told that was happening until after the fact. If you guys could please just start communicating and also start setting expectations, and let you guys let me know that I don't have to teach the 1-2 curriculum, just the 3-4 curriculum.
Thank you. Ted Combs, followed by Ryan Ussery.
Hello, I'm Ted Combs. I'm associate teacher, but also the GSA advisor at South. I got to play the bad guy in the video. But I just wanted to say how much my students have actually really talked about how much they liked you at the conference in the spring. In fact, member Pastor Rivera, they've invited to come for our first GSA assembly this month. It's October now, this month. Because they were so impressed last year with the conference. And one of the things I wanted to highlight that they're doing is they're actually crafting a letter to admin to work on some of the unconscious bias things that they're saying at it. That's not quite inclusive at assemblies with the ladies and gentlemen and stuff, that's leaving some of my club members feeling left out. And so they're drafting a letter to admin to say, hey, you don't realize you're doing this, but this is what you're doing. And I'm just really proud of them and wanted to say that. We did have several, about 20 signs that they made, but everyone decided they were too big and didn't want to hold them up, that they had made for me to bring for them here. No, they're like full-size poster boards. But just wanted to recognize the hard work they did for that. But we do have, there's one of them. They do have 90+% of my club is in the drama department, and they do have a showcase tonight. So between that and work, no one was able to come with me. So thank you.
Thank you. Ryan Ussery, followed by Julie Schixnader.
Hi, I'm Ryan Ushery. It's okay.
Oh, I'm
Nobody ever
sorry.
Gets it right. Nobody gets it right. It's okay. Anytime I talk to GSAs or various advocacy groups across the state, they're jealous. PXU leads the way on a lot of these policies, these inclusive policies. And we're planning our 4th annual conference for GSAs. And the year after our first conference, other districts started to get theirs. Tempe started to get theirs going. And we're getting the ball rolling here because of your support. And we could always do more, but there's there's what's right and then there's the law. And sometimes it doesn't quite match up, and so we do what we can. There's certainly more that we can always be doing. I would love more clarification of policy for LGBTQ students and staff. Right now, it's scattered across 5 different places, and it's hard to, when somebody has a question, it's hard to figure it out if I have to look into 5 different places. And so I'd love to work on a singular place and clarification, because I have to call the lawyer sometimes and figure out what's the actual policy. Resolutions are a great way to kind of show that support, show that we lead the way, especially as people are looking at, do we want to have our kid here? Is this district safe? And those resolutions count as people figure out, do we want to have our kid here? More open communication with our staff and students as we figure out where we want to fix, hey, how to be better. An occasional meeting with the GSAs, with the students or staff would be great. More GSAs are always great. More training of staff. Hey, I was doxxed 2 years ago, put on a hate blog because I shared, hey, I took my GSA kids on a field trip. So thank you.
Thank you. Julie Schexnader, followed by Lance Long.
Thank you, Superintendent Andrade, President Napa, and governing board members. My name is Julie Schexnader, and I am a teacher at Maryville High School. I am here to express my support for the changes made to the grading process across Phoenix Union and how that supports our guaranteed viable curriculum. Phoenix Union needs to have every student learning the same standards in the same course, no matter the campus. As a member of the Marks and Grading Manual Committee last year, we reviewed real-time gradebook categories and weights from across the contents and the district. What we saw led the entire committee to commit to the rollout of essential standards for all the same content courses and weighted these standards equally. We saw an AP course with 2 categories, both weighted at 50%. That AP course was all about homework and extra credit. We also saw an example of 2 classes on the same campus, the same content, with wildly different categories and weights. Every example we looked at had variations of these 2 examples. Our committee knew that Phoenix Union needed to move forward, and our solution was to align the grading practices to support a guaranteed viable curriculum. Change is uncomfortable, but it is inevitable. The changes made to marks and grading in Phoenix Union will benefit our students and give all our families a clearer picture of what students are learning in every class. And that is the promise of our guaranteed viable curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you. Lance Long, followed by Tom Navarro.
My name is Lance Long. I am a teacher in the district. I'd like to talk about the grade book, not the grades, but the grade book. I understand that support for the previous grade book had ended and something new had to be added, but this grade book is criminal. 6 weeks after the start of the school year, 7 weeks after teachers reported to work, there were still workshops being held on how to use it. Tomorrow is the end of the quarter and there's a hotline set up for teachers who are having trouble with it after 10 weeks of training. This is unconscionable. Instead of making our job easier, our job has increased in complexity and is far more time-consuming. With the previous gradebook, after a test, I could check the boxes for the classes, then click once. The gradebook would create the assignment and enter the grade. It was finished in seconds. With the new gradebook, which is so complex and intricate, that feature also exists, but we've been instructed not to use it because it will not give accurate results. This whiz-bang gradebook that will do everything except sing the Yellow Rose of Texas cannot be trusted to give accurate results. How much did you spend on this monstrosity? I am told to download the results of a test to a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet will be pages long and thus totally useless. Instead, I must write out the results with pencil and paper, laboriously separate out every standard, and add the standards to the questions, and then finally enter the results into the gradebook. Pencil and paper in 2025. Unbelievable. And now we are also told that if a student gets a mark that lowers his overall grade, we are to mark it as not for grading. Grade inflation has come to Phoenix Union High School District. In short, no transcript from PXU can be trusted. And our motto is preparing students for career, life, and college. I don't think so. Instead, we are teaching them that they can be rewarded for irresponsible behavior. But after 21 years in the district, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. The situation is normal. Snafu.
Thank you. Tom Navarro, followed by Alicia Cruz.
Good evening, I'm Tom Navarro. I recently retired after serving this district for 31 years as a teacher and counselor. First, my prayers continue to remain with the families impacted by the tragedy at Maryville. I spent my last year there, and I can say undeniably that the event doesn't reflect the heart of Maryville students or the care and commitment of its staff. But I speak today as a concerned stakeholder of Ward 1. Nearly a year ago, the superintendent sent a district-wide email accusing 4 individuals of fraud and nepotism, alleging over $650,000 in improper compensation. That message was shared with staff, families, news outlets, and state authorities before an investigation had even begun. And that's what's troubling. The investigation was conducted after the accused were publicly branded as criminals. And to date, no follow-up has been issued despite the district's promise to do so. Equally confusing is that after the investigation concluded, the 3 employees that were placed on admin leave were asked to return to work. This raises serious questions about the legitimacy of the accusations and the potential misuse of public funds by district to defend against these claims. Because these former employees have since filed lawsuits. Case number CV 2025-013063 and CV 2025-016895. As we approach the upcoming override vote, I respectfully seek clarity on number 1, the handling of this matter and the investigation's findings. Number 2, was taxpayer money used to pursue what appears to be a personal vendetta against 4 family members who served PXU for over 25 years with dedication and integrity? Number 3, what's the financial impact of this situation on our district and taxpayers?
Thank you. Alicia Cruz, followed by Amanda Corona. Go ahead.
Hi, this is my first time coming. I have a student at Carl Hayden. So my main concerns are, where is all the money going to that there's no officers on campus? Second, what's going on with the dress codes? Third, what is going on with the staff protecting the students? These incidents need to stop. These accidents or whatever is going on, the violence needs to stop, whether it's with weapons or not weapons. We all saw what happened yesterday, and as a parent, it boiled my blood to see the videos. What another parent has said, you know, a month later, after the Maryville incident, that's when Carl Hayden started targeting. And it's like, what is going on? Where is the securities. I believe there's 1,800 students at Carl Hayden for only 8 securities. That's a little bit. I think it should be more than just 8 securities. There should be enough staff. I feel they have their button, under the desk, but I feel all teachers also need to have either a walkie-talkie or something for when they're out, supervising lunch or whatever period. They can press that button, call walkie-talkie, call security, do something. Where's all the funds going to? That it's just for these metal detectors. Obviously, these kids are smart. They can walk down the sidewalk, throw it over the gate, pass by the metal detector, pick it up, and then, have their weapon or whatever they want to have and just go ahead and use it. How is the staff gonna know?
Thank you. Amanda Corona. After that, Danielle Dominguez.
Good evening, governing board members and PXU community. My name is Amanda Corona, and I am a staff member at Cesar Chavez High School in the English department. It is no secret that budgeting and enrollment issues are rocking public schools around the state, including our own, and people's lives are potentially being upended due to the choices that are being required at the district level. I would like to share some statements from fellow colleagues in our English department that are being directly affected by the surplus situation at Chavez. The following statements are from the hardworking and incredible teachers, Noah Ramirez and Harley White. The first statement reads, I've had a very polarizing experience as a new educator. If I'm being fully transparent, it is very discouraging as a new teacher trying to break into the profession to feel like your district only sees you as a number. I have felt very supported by the faculty at Chavez, but it's clear that at the end of the day, everyone's hands are tied if someone higher up wants them to be. It's just very disappointing to know that sometimes your performance, impact, and grit in a field like this gets overlooked. The second statement reads, students have been asking why their schedules are changing this far into the year. As a teacher, how do we explain that the budget takes priority over their consistent learning environment? As the adults in the classroom, we know the importance of consistency and routine. These students have been robbed of their consistency. The district is not living up to its responsibilities to protect the quality of education for our students. When the people in charge choose to make up the budget deficit at the expense of the students' experience, they betray the trust of the community in which they serve. I implore the governing board to ask the district to relook at the Chavez surpluses, especially considering that on our campus we have positive enrollment. They may require the hiring of teachers down the line with our growth. Protect those who are here now, because we might not like our choices later. Thank you.
Thank you. Danielle Dominguez, followed by Carla Rangel.
Hello, I'm an instructional leader, and I'm here to share some concerns about recent changes in our English department at Cesar Chavez High School. We've been told to surplus 2 English teachers, 1 reassigned to ELD after fall break. This means 126 students from that teacher will be changed mid-semester, and 7 more English teachers' classes will be collapsed and shuffled to absorb the impact. In total, hundreds of students will be disrupted, and the ripple effects extend beyond English. While I understand budget challenges, contracts for the teachers who were being asked to surplus were issued in March for this school year and should have been accounted for. Making changes now is incredibly disruptive to both students and staff. Our campus is growing. Chavez is the only comprehensive campus in the district with rising enrollment. We've shown an increase in our achievement over the last few years via NWEA and ACT scores. For big schools, we ended last year with one of the lowest dropout rates, and we had the highest on-track to graduate rate for freshmen in the district. With a new K-8 feeder school coming to Levine, numbers at Chavez will continue to rise. If we want to keep and attract students, avoiding unnecessary disruptions that upset parents and destabilize schedules is crucial. This district-level decision, to no fault of our own, will reflect poorly on us. It's disheartening for our staff and community to work so hard to build enrollment, only to see decisions made above the campus level undermine our progress. English classes at Chavez averaged 27 students, far from empty. I respectfully ask the board to review the surplus decision and ensure that talent considers our current and projected growth when making staffing choices. Please consider the hundreds of students that will be impacted by this change. They deserve consistency, especially our ESS students, and our school deserves the stability to continue growing strong. Thank you.
Thank you. Carla Rangel, followed by Genesis Camacho. Carla? Oh, here she comes.
Hello, good evening, board members. I stand before you today to talk about a vision for our schools, a vision in which every student not only walks through safe doors, but also enters into a place where their minds and hearts are cared for. Too often we hear about investments in metal detectors, surveillance systems, and physical barriers. While safety is important, I believe that we're missing the big picture here. Many students do not feel safe, they don't feel comfortable, and they don't feel welcome in coming into their schools that are not supporting them. Because every dollar spent on security is a dollar not spent on a student's opportunity. Every minute student spends walking past metal detectors or feeling watched or being disciplined rather than supported, it creates the sense of distrust, fear, and frustration for students. We need more resources like counselors, teachers, fund more programs and clubs, and create the sense of support that our community needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Genesis Camacho, followed by Nancy Lamb.
Good evening, board members. My name is Genesis Camacho, and I'm here speaking for students across the Phoenix Union District. Right now, mental health is one of the biggest issues facing students, not just in PXU, but everywhere. Many students are dealing with anxiety, depression, trauma, and overwhelming stress. These aren't rare cases. They're happening every day in every school. But instead of responding with care and support, you continue to spend money on metal detectors and SROs. I understand that there is an ask for SROs on campuses in hope of decreasing fights and bringing safety, but that's giving a false sense of safety while ignoring the real issues. In reality, an SRO is a reactive approach, not a proactive one. A more proactive approach would be ensuring we have enough counselors available at each campus, having a support in place to provide emotional regulation or conflict mediation. Students need safe spaces where they can talk, be heard, and be taken seriously. When a student acts out or shuts down, it's not because they're a danger, it's because they're struggling. Choosing to respond with policing instead of support only makes things worse. We ask you to invest in our growth, not just academically, but as human beings. Let's invest in what actually works, more mental health resources. Let's invest in real-world opportunities. Let's invest in that all schools have access to CTEs. If you truly want to create safer schools, then stop investing in fear and start investing in students. Real safety comes from being cared for, not being controlled. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Lamb, followed by Tamisa Acosta.
Thank you. Good evening, board members and fellow community members. My name is Nancy Lamb. I'm a concerned community member who works with some of our students that go to PXU. We are only one quarter into the school year, and already we have seen the advanced weapon detection systems fail us and prove that they are a waste of money. A student died from a stabbing at Maryville High School in August. An altercation where a pocket knife was involved between two students at Carl Hayden resulted in injuries. How many more students have to be injured or die to show that AWDS is not the answer? Furthermore, since Chief Giordano assumed leadership of the Phoenix Police Department, there have been seven officer-involved shootings resulting in at least 4 fatalities. This is the same police department that is deploying SROs to our campuses. In fact, one of these shootings happened just this morning nearby South Mountain High School. After the Carl Hayden incident, Superintendent Horn called for more SROs on campuses, but in the Maryville incident, where a 16-year-old died, the campus had both SROs and metal detectors. In the aftermath of these incidents, we have an opportunity to redefine what security and safety mean for our students. Our students need smaller class sizes to get individualized teacher attention that can notice when students are not doing well. After-school programs that make them feel like they belong. Counselors and academic advisors that bridge students to their next step in life after graduation. We received a concerning email that North and Trevor Brown will be losing counselors, which is the exact opposite of what we need right now. Whether it's another grant or a reevaluation of the budget within the talent department, please invest in solutions and get SROs and metal detectors off of our campuses. Thank you.
Thank you. Tamisa Acosta.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tomasa Acosta, and as a site council parent representative at Carl Hayden, I also have 2 students at Carl Hayden, and I'm a very involved member of the community. A year ago, I stood here in front of you guys asking to get SRO officers, and you decided no, which we were gonna be for free. So now, based on that, despite this duty care, which is the law, to keep our students safe in this campus, you chose to vote no. On having a safety prevention in that school should have been prevented. As an outcome, we have multiple incidents in that school that could have been prevented. Or it could have been de-escalated by resource officers. With this overview, I would like to advocate on one more secure in our schools and give peace of mind to students and parents. I've been talking to parents and they're thinking about withdrawing and considering taking the students out of the schools because they don't feel safe. I would also like to address the procedures of the consequences you will take for the standbys, the students that were taking videos and were promoting, encouraging other students to violence, to fight harder, instead of helping them or reporting to get help for them. This is another parent, and she would like to have emotional and social learning communication to invite speakers to our schools, violence prevention, gang intervention. I would like transparency and effective communication between the board, the school, and the parents. And our children deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes tonight's call to the public.
Madam President, may
Yes.
I respond to some of those comments provided? Thank you for the public comment. I just want to acknowledge and recognize the safety concerns that were brought tonight by several community members. I, as a board member, definitely hear you tonight. And I want to acknowledge that, I've been very clear as one of the few board members calling for additional school resource officers on our campuses. To acknowledge Carl Hayden did not have a school resource officer last night or the other day. There's a very disturbing video out there. I've seen it.
Mr. Cota, I'm sorry, you can ask for items to be placed on the agenda.
Okay.
If you'd like to do that, you can go ahead and do that.
Certainly. So I'm just going to, again, call for my normal motion that I'm asking for, and that's that we have school resource officers placed on the agenda for future agenda items, additional school resource officers to be at every single campus within Phoenix Union.
Board Member Meyer?
Yes, some public comments were talking about the GSA conference in the spring. I just wanted on future notice that I want to be invited. So, and then Debbie Cross also wants to be invited. Please email us.
Thank you. I also wanted to address the GSA comments. Looking at the website, I don't see a central location for LGBT policies or even LGBT FAQs. I'm wondering if we can explore how PXU is a accepting and celebrating district for our LGBT students and make sure that that's highlighted on our portfolio. And do we have on like our SharePoint or password protected
areas for our faculty and staff to look at these policies. Is there a one-pager, is there a pamphlet? Because it sounds like there isn't. And then what other ways can staff and faculty be updated by the district or at conferences or retreats? Wondering how that can happen.
Okay. I was going to say, so those are all things that you're asking the superintendent to look into and report back on.
Yes, thank you. Oh, and one other thing, don't we have Care Solaris as a mental health resource that's available to our students? And that's telehealth mental. And is that available to just our students, or is it available to students and their household? Do we know?
President Napa, members, I do know it's available for staff and students, and I can check to see if it's available for siblings or family members.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Oliver.
Yes, I'd like to ask the superintendent to look into paying the .2s. And then I'd also like to ask the superintendent to provide the board with the mental health resources on each and every campus. Thank you.
Representative Marquez.
Yeah, Madam Chair, Superintendent Andrade, could you look into challenges with the grade book, maybe with our association leaders? I think I've heard consistently about that issue since the school year began. And then also, Superintendent Andrade, if you could also look to see what can be done to minimize disruption for students as we're navigating this tough budget time for the school district. That's it.
Superintendent Andrade, thank you, Representative Marquez, for the clarification on the grade book. Can we add a agenda item to our retreat that informs the board about the new grade book and what the issues are, and then also solutions that we're addressing or doing moving forward?
Sure.
All right, board, anything? All right, we will take a 10-minute break. Guests, please, just a reminder during breaks, as a safety protocol, please refrain from approaching the dais. Thank you for your cooperation. Can we get 10 minutes on the timer, please?
Join Phoenix Union at our 2025 High School Expo on Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Phoenix College. Win prizes, enjoy student performances, and discover what's next for your future at Phoenix Union. At Phoenix Union, we're stronger together. There's something for everyone. Come find your place at one of PXU's 23 high schools. See how we prepare all students for success in college, career, and life. Visit pxu.org/expo for more details.
PXU Spotlight, this is who we are. Shine like the future, brighter by the star. PXU Spotlight, this is who we are.
Well, hello, welcome. Let's kick it off. Why don't you tell us your name, how long you've been in the district, what you do in the district, and what it is that made you choose Phoenix Union.
Yeah, so my name's Yuli. I'm the current principal of Bioscience High School. I've been in the district now for about 11 years. Honestly, it's kind of like my second home. When I step into Phoenix Union communities, every single person reminds me of somebody from my own experience, somebody from my culture, somebody from my family. So for me, there really is no other place like Phoenix Union. It kind of just feels like home. So that's why I chose it.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, so during your time as an assistant principal, you led efforts around school culture and climate. What strategies did you find most effective in building a positive environment, and how do you see those strategies scaling across the district to other schools?
Right on. So we had about 240 staff members, give or take, and I think one thing that I realized was it was never just going to be me that shifted the climate and the culture of our community. And I really had to leverage the capacity of every single member of our community. And it started with building relationships, getting to know people, getting to know their strengths, and understanding that every single one of them had something to offer. And with our collective direction, we aligned to hopefully create a better climate and better culture for our kiddos, for all of our kiddos, using every single person in our community.
Boots on ground,
Yes.
right? All right, well, safety is foundational to learning. How do you approach, well, what is your approach to school safety, and how has it evolved over time? What practices do you believe are essential in creating safe and supportive campuses?
I always kind of use examples with staff members and honestly anybody that I talk to outside of education. I remember a time where I went to a professional development, completely different city, and I decided to walk there. And as I was walking, I heard gunshots, I heard people screaming. Within, it felt like seconds, I felt just the whiplash of police cars going through, and in that moment I froze, I panicked, I ran, I made it to the professional development, and all I could think of that day was not what I was going to be learning, how excited I was to be in that place, but just the trauma that I had experienced. And so I always tell our staff members, our community members is, for kids to learn, for kids to be ready to learn, they need to feel safe. They need to feel welcomed, inspired, seen, valued. And so I always lead with examples that really center adults in real world scenarios to hopefully connect with students on a different level and the importance of safety.
Perfect. Now that you're leading Bioscience High School, how are you applying those past administrative experiences to shape the vision for your school? And what lessons might other school leaders take from your transformation?
That's a good question. I think when I got to Chavez, I realized that school had been there for 25 years. When I got to Bioscience, that school has been there for 17 years.
Sure.
And it's not just because it's a great building. It's because there have been people there for 17 years and 25 years that have developed and grown that program. And so one thing that I always keep in mind is that there are people that have been doing the work before you, and there are people that will continue to do the work well after you're gone. And it's a point to leverage the capacity to build relationships and to collectively grow our community towards a positive direction.
So speaking of that, Bioscience has a very unique identity. Very proud of it. But talk about the excitement for upcoming school year at Bio and maybe what you see on the horizon when it comes to innovation on your campus.
That's a good question. I'll start off by saying this. Bioscience is unique. Bioscience is also Phoenix Union School. It represents the great diversity, creativity, and innovation that our greater community has to offer. One thing I will say with Bioscience that kind of occurs at any other comprehensive school is you have so many great things, and sometimes you miss an opportunity to showcase the work. Sometimes you miss an opportunity to highlight the incredible things that are going on. And so one of the things that I'm really excited for this school year is to make sure that we show not just our families at Bioscience, but to really show this incredible community in Phoenix, in Arizona, and hopefully across the US of the incredible things that we're doing. Because that tends to, when people hear about things like that from all walks of life from across the country, that tends to really draw in some great partnerships and opportunities for our kiddos.
Outstanding. I look forward to that and helping you with that. As Administrator of the Year, what message would you share with our aspiring school leaders about the role of administrators in shaping not just schools, but the future of public education in our district?
I would say one piece of advice that I would give is just, get humbled. And sometimes it's very difficult. Getting humbled is a skill, but that is the one thing that will really center you and ground you in the work, and that is the one thing that will really rally your community around you. Because when they feel valued, they feel heard, they feel seen, they feel like their input matters, remove yourself and your ego from that situation, and you'll realize that you'll come up with the most innovative and relevant solutions to move a community forward.
Yeah, no school administrator has ever operated in isolation successfully anyway. So great advice, great advice. Well, thank you for being here with us today, and congratulations on
Thank you.
Administrator of the Year for the entire district. It's well deserved.
Thank you.
Join Phoenix Union at our 2025 High School Expo on Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Phoenix College. Win prizes, enjoy student performances, and discover what's next for your future at Phoenix Union. At Phoenix Union, we're stronger together. There's something for everyone. Come find your place at one of PXU's 23 high schools. See how we prepare all students for success in college, career, and life. Visit pxu.org/expo for more details.
PXU spotlight, this is who we are. Shine like the future, brighter by the star. PXU spotlight, this is who we are.
Well, hello, welcome. Let's kick it off. Why don't you tell us your name, how long you've been in the district, what you do in the district, and what it is that made you choose Phoenix Union.
Yeah, so my name's Yuli. I'm the current principal of Bioscience High School. I've been in the district now for about 11 years. Honestly, it's kind of like my second home. When I step into Phoenix Union communities, every single person reminds me of somebody from my own experience, somebody from my culture, somebody from my family. So for me, there really is no other place like Phoenix Union. It kind of just feels like home. So that's why I chose it.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, so during your time as an assistant principal, you led efforts around school culture and climate. What strategies did you find most effective in building a positive environment, and how do you see those strategies scaling across the district to other schools?
Right on. So we had about 240 staff members, give or take, and I think one thing that I realized was it was never just going to be me that shifted the climate and the culture of our community, and I really had to leverage the capacity of every single member of our community. And it started with building relationships, getting to know people, getting to know their strengths, and understanding that every single one of them had something to offer. And with our collective direction, we aligned to hopefully create a better climate and better culture for our kiddos, for all of our kiddos, using every single person in our community.
Boots on ground,
Yes.
right? All right, well, safety is foundational to learning. How do you approach, well, what is your approach to school safety, and how has it evolved over time? What practices do you believe are essential in creating safe and supportive campuses?
I always kind of use examples with staff members and honestly anybody that I talk to outside of education. I remember a time where I went to a professional development, completely different city, and I decided to walk there. And as I was walking, I heard gunshots, I heard people screaming. Within, it felt like seconds, I felt the
Board
whiplash of
members,
police
time
cars
is up.
going through.
We are coming back, and we're going to talk about consent agenda, that's the next item. Representative Marquez,
Vente
Board
aquí.
Member Meyer,
Don't make me speak another language.
Board Member Cota. Someone mute Clerk Member Oliver. Oh yeah, I forgot about Frankie. The next item is 5A, approval of consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent? Yes.
Madam President, may I request we withdraw consent agenda item, I believe it's 8B, approval. Yes.
8B?
Is that not on the consent, or am I
Is
looking at
that
this wrong?
8C?
It is, so it'll be pulled for discussion, and we can have a motion to approve the consent agenda without 8B.
Okay, so 8B, boy. Okay. All right, there's, so do we, I always forget how we do this. You need a second. Is there anyone who Do you have a second to pull 8B?
Oh, did you move to approve? I'm sorry. Or did you
Well,
just move
No,
to?
he wants to pull it.
If he wants to pull it, it's just pulled.
Uh-huh.
And then we need a motion to approve without 8B.
Okay.
I thought we could just pull anything according to board policy.
You have, that's what I'm saying. So right now, it's pulled. So now we just need a motion to approve the consent agenda without 8B, which we will come back and discuss.
Yes. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented with the exception of 8B?
So moved.
Motion to approve, we
Second.
need a second, thank you. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with the exception of 8B has been made by Clerk Oliver and seconded by Representative Marquez. Did I hear that right? Okay. Is there any discussion? On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We will now talk about 8B. Board Member Cota.
Thank you, Madam President, Superintendent. I just would like a little bit more clarification on one of the courses here. I guess it's course. Sorry, let me just pull this up really quick. Course, is it 10? Is that, I guess, Community Impact Leadership 1 and 2 honors? Is this what actually would this entail? Because I'm reading the course description, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty understanding what exactly is the involvement with students. They're going out into community, they're doing community projects. I'm just kind of understanding, are they going to be working with community partners? Is there a curriculum that we can see for this?
President Napa, Member Cota, this is an elective for PXU City, which is probably one of our most unique high schools. It's project-based learning, so students work together on an interdisciplinary project that has elements of all the core subjects. While I don't know exactly how they will select their community-based project, it may just be some way that they want to explore something in the community. Again, it could have civics in mind. I know that they work heavily with the Flynn Foundation and really promote leadership and leadership within your community. Again, to get specifically, I can provide you a copy of the curriculum, and I don't know if Ms. Tejas has more information on that, but that is a project-based learning initiative set by PXU City for an elective credit.
Thank you for the question, Board Member Cota, and thank you, Ms. Andrade. So yes, this is for PXU City. It is specifically an opportunity for civics engagement and to continue to work towards the Civic Seal. That is a graduation diploma, and we're happy to provide the curriculum upon request.
That'd be appreciated. Madam President, Superintendent Andrade, so there's one line here. So it says students will be advocating for equity. Can you actually describe what that is, please?
Thank you for the question. So again, this is a very personalized project. Students select what it is that they're interested in, and so we can get you some examples of previous projects, but each student decides each year what they would like to advocate for.
Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to approve consent agenda item 8B? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to approve 8B has been motioned by Board Member Cross and seconded by Board Member Pastor Rivera. Is there any discussion? On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Roll call.
Roll call vote.
Can we do a hand raise vote? I saw that in our policies.
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
he's asked for a roll call. Do a roll call vote.
All right, roll call vote. Board Member Meyer?
Aye.
Board Member Cross?
Aye.
Board Member Cota?
No.
Board Member Pastor Rivera?
Aye.
Representative Marquez?
Aye for equity.
Clerk Oliver?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Thank you. Moving on to 6A, Superintendent's Report. Ms. Andrade.
Okay. Good evening, Governing Board and Phoenix Union community. Opening my superintendent's report tonight with somewhat of a somber update on the state of enrollment. As you know, our enrollment has been down over the past 3 years, and this year we've seen a drop of 1,748 students from this date last year. This is 7% less students attending Phoenix Union schools than they did last year. Like so many other districts across the valley, declining enrollment results in the direct loss of revenue for the 25-26 school year. So consequently, we plan to reduce spending by another about $20 million for the 25-26 school year. This comes on top of an $8.6 million cut that was made for the 23-24 school year, a 5.8 cut that was made for this year, and we continue to closely monitor our enrollment weekly and use the priorities that were developed by the Budget Advisory Committee to begin next steps in the reduction in force planning, because really all there's not much left other than positions, salaries, benefits. But again, we will have a robust communication plan with a timeline as well as we start Q2. As you know, and you've maybe heard me say before, that this reduction will begin at our district office. And it will prioritize classroom instruction first and the campuses throughout this process. Board, you can expect to see a preliminary RIF position list in December of this year with the names in the new year. Okay, switching gears. As we know, once a Bruin, always a Bruin. And this year, 2 of our 2025 TGB graduates actually returned to the school to share their experience from a 10-day semiconductor quick start program, the program's first cohort with current students. Their presentation highlighted their daily schedule, their hands-on projects, and the valuable skills that they gained through the program. The second cohort already has 30 students who've applied for only 15 spots that are available. This is a special partnership between Trevor Brown and Estrella Community College that provides our students with real-world hands-on experiences and then gives them the upper hand when it comes to applying for jobs in this emerging industry post-high school. All right, next I'm happy to share the second iteration of the Superintendent's Student Advisory Council, where we now have juniors and seniors. Last year we only had juniors. We added another cohort this year. On September 26th, we came together for the first time for our kickoff meeting. This cohort is a mix of returning students and some new faces with a renewed focus on the commitment to student voice. I'm so excited to share that at our retreat on October 17th, you'll be given, board, the opportunity to meet the Student Advisory Council and have lunch with them and have conversation, and that they will also, representatives will be presenting to you in November. And I know they're excited about that. Okay, next, earlier this evening, you approved a consent agenda for another round of PXU student workers. These additional 77 students will be able to earn money while gaining valuable experience within our own district. We have students working in the finance division here at the district office, as well as technology, food services, and several other roles in between. I just want to thank the board for continuing to support our students by approving their employment, and I thank our staff for finding these unique ways to integrate our students into our work and provide these valuable experiences for them to be able to learn and grow. Earlier this week, we cut the ribbon on a new outdoor eating space at Bostrom High School. As you know, we celebrate new outdoor dining spaces at North, and as well as the final upgrades at Trevor Brown last month. These projects are only possible with the support of our community approving the bonds and overrides. These projects are the result of our innovative vision for the future and to our community rallying behind our students. I want to thank Board Member Cross for attending the ribbon cutting, as well as Principal Gutierrez de Jimenez for hosting such an amazing event. It was great. Next up is our annual celebration of a true staple in community engagement, the Franklin Community Fair. This event has seen significant growth over the years and always brings out the best of Franklin students and our incredible community. We had food, fun, dancing, haircuts, student-led demonstrations, and community organizations from across the valley. This event was so well supported that Franklin hosted a celebration of gratitude event just to thank all the amazing sponsors who helped make it such a success. I want to congratulate personally Principal Cabrera and the Franklin staff and students for just another incredible showing. Keep up the awesome work, and I can't wait to attend next year. Keeping with the Franklin theme, another positive story, again out of Franklin. It's an uplifting reminder that you're never alone. In honor of Suicide Prevention Month, Franklin earned a $1,000 prize for participating in the Teen Lifeline Chains of Hope competition. Participating schools created paper chain links with messages of affirmation on them. These chains are then displayed across campus to remind our students that they're never alone and that we are stronger together. Beautiful. Another great story that provides future pathways for our students is our annual HBCU Fair. The event took place on September 17th at Phoenix College. This event included workshops for students interested in attending college, wonderful colleges and universities, featured several PXU alum who are now enrolled in HBCUs. I want to give a special shout out to Sandra Jenkins and Natalie Good, who worked with the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority on developing the program for our students and ensuring this important event takes place every year. Great job to our counselors and BSU sponsors who made sure we got our kids registered and got them out over there. Thank you. Last month, Phoenix Union counselors yet again took approximately 850 juniors, sophomores and juniors to learn about post-secondary ops and what it takes to reach their goals. I'm so excited that our students got to attend this through our amazing partnership with Be a Leader. We started having planning meetings last year to make this event even better than the last, and I believe this event will open so many doors for our students. There will be breakout sessions, a resource fair with many colleges and community partners, all there to connect with our students. The next story is such an inspiration from Betty Fairfax. So earlier this year, the CBT program at Fairfax was awarded a grant from the Green Desert Foundation to create a garden on campus. So on September 22nd, representatives from the foundation came over to Fairfax to help our students lay down the first round of seeds in the garden. As you all know, any garden worth its weight needs a name. Our clever students voted and decided on the name, drum roll please. Thank you, Sig. Betty's Roots. The name honors the heritage and the name rights of Betty Fairfax High School. Congratulations and way to go, Stampede CBT. Nice, right? That's beautiful. All right, I'm really excited to share this next story as we continue to highlight and spotlight a student that not only portrays the graduate profile, but is just stellar in achievement as well. It's just such an incredible story. So this young lady, meet Aaliyah Montoya. There she is, holding the peace sign up. She is not only a member of the Superintendent Advisory Council, she's also a member of the Metro Tech High School community. And she was a member of the ACT Challenge group as a junior. You see, the first time she took ACT, like so many students, she got a 17, I think. And she was like, oh, you know, I probably can do better. And then she retook it again, and she got a 19, which the state, I'm sure, was happy about, but Aaliyah wasn't. So she joined various test prep groups through STEP and through the LEADA program, studied on her own every day, went to New York in the summer to do some test prep, intense boot camp, really, and took 8 full-length practice tests by the time it was all done, all to prepare herself for a better round at ACT. I am so proud to share, I don't know if you can tell what she got by our fingers, but she scored a 32. Right? This places her in the 97th percentile of all test takers across the country. Aaliyah is an example of what hard work and perseverance looks like and that it can truly pay off. Congratulations, Aaliyah. I also want to give a shout out to Blaze from Camelback. Montessori, Abigail and Jeremiah from Trevor Brown, who also attended this New York workshop. So I'm kind of anxious for them to Teams me and let me know how they did with their scores. So I'll probably have a part 2 to this. In September, Via de Sol awarded our very own principal, Dr. Julio Rubio from Carl Hayden, with the Premio Orgula Award. This award is given at the annual Profile of Success Hispanic Leadership Awards Dinner. It celebrates Latino leadership across Arizona. It specifically honors individuals who demonstrate exceptional achievement or a strong track record of leadership in the community. It highlights not just personal accomplishments, but rather the impact on the community at large, and for advocating and uplifting Latino voices and representation. Also saw a recent article from, I think it was Helios, highlighting Carl Hayden and chronic absenteeism as well. Congratulations, Dr. Rubio. All right. Okay, so I'm going to end my report this evening by celebrating some really hardworking people in the room, our principals. It is National Principals Month. Yep, they get a whole month. I want to ask that our principals please stand so that we can all give you a round of applause. Being a principal in Phoenix Union is, gosh, one of the most rewarding jobs in the state and one of the toughest jobs you'll ever do. Our principals dedicate their time, their energy, and their talents to our students, staff, families, and community. They are always available. They are always on call. They are in so many ways the anchor for our district as they hold down these tiny communities. They are like little mayors out in their communities. These leaders give it their all, and it is my honor to serve alongside them. Thank you, principals, for all you do. This concludes my report.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to next item 7A, progress monitoring calendar and interim goals with potential action. Ms. Andrade.
Okay, President Napa, members of the board, as you know, we are on an SOFG journey together. We're learning together. And this year, in many ways, is our hold harmless or practice year. We have board goals, and we're getting comfortable with the manual and the way that we monitor and the way that we hold ourselves accountable. As you know, we have 4 goals. And 2 of them are outlined for ACT, one for ELA and one for math. We also have a CCRI goal and a English language learner goal. But tonight, we are going to show you a little bit more about how we're going to monitor our ACT goal. And you're probably thinking, well, wait, they don't take ACT until the end of the year or the mid-year, right? And we're not going to do like Aaliyah and give them all 8 practice tests, are we? Probably not. That's excessive, but look where she got. She got a 32. Anyway, I digress. There has to be a way to predict, like we do in football. What's the score in the first quarter? What's the score in the second quarter, third quarter, all the way down the line, and hopefully in the last few seconds, we don't miss the kick, right? So this is our attempt at showing you how we plan to monitor our predictions for ACT and how we think our group is doing. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Tejas and Mr. Camp.
Well, thank you, Ms. Andrade, and good evening, President Napa, Governing Board, and our Phoenix Union community. Tonight, we're pleased to bring an update on the work we've done over the last month to work on developing proposed interim goals as well as a progress monitoring calendar draft. As Ms. Andrade mentioned, these are both next steps in the student-focused outcome governance model. And as we begin, we'd like to take just a couple of minutes to remind the public about the goals that you adopted last month. As you can see, Goals 1 related to CCRI, or College Career Readiness, and Goal 2, ACT Reading. For tonight's proposed interim goals, as Ms. Andrade indicated, we're going to be focusing on Goal 2, ACT Reading, and Goal 3, ACT Math. You will also note that Goal 4 is related to our English language learners. Let's talk a little bit more about what an interim goal is and why that helps with progress monitoring. So interim goals are measures of progress towards the attainment of that overarching student achievement goal or the one-year goals that we just reviewed. They serve as a check-in to see how our data is moving, and hopefully it's in the right direction so that our students are going to meet or exceed that goal. Over the last month, we've worked with many stakeholders to identify multiple data points that could be the best predictors to determine whether we're going to meet those goals. More specifically, we worked with our instructional leaders who are teachers at all of our schools all over the district, our principals, and multiple members of the Teaching and Learning Division. We'll have additional opportunities to provide feedback after fall break around Goal 1, CCRI, and then the ELL goal that I just mentioned. It is our hope to finalize those and have them for you at the November Governing Board meeting. So during these sessions, again, we learned about the data points that are available. We take a look at what is best in terms of adjusting instruction with supports like advisory and tutoring, as well as preparing students for the different testing conditions related to ACT. This will allow us to make the adjustments that are necessary. And as you'll learn in just a moment from Mr. Kemp, we have narrowed our interim goals for ACT Reading and ACT Math to 2 different data points that are measurable at multiple times during the school year. As a reminder for the public, both our 4 overarching student achievement goals as well as our interim goals must be written in SMART goal format. This level of specificity provides clarity about who, how, what specifically, and by when we hope to achieve our goals. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Camp, who is going to talk more specifically about Goal 2, ACT Reading, and Goal 3, ACT Math, for our proposed interim goals.
Thank you, Ms. Tejas. Good evening, President Napa, Governing Board members, Ms. Andrade, and the community. We are happy to bring to the board tonight interim goals that have been developed for recommended adoption based on the continued work around a balanced assessment system, the current efforts that campuses are doing with regards to measuring student achievement and growth, and feedback from key leader groups. We will start with our confirmed goal number 2, ACT Reading, as you see here. And just a reminder for everyone that our target measure is 25% of our students in 11th grade, or the class of 2027, will receive a score of 19 or higher. Just another reminder that the state actually has identified the 19 on an ACT as proficiency. So let's get started with the recommended interim goals for the reading goal number 2. Board, as a reminder, the Student Outcomes Focused Governance Model recommends anywhere from 3 to 5 interim goals per goal, and we have actually developed 4 recommended interim goals for reading and 4 for math. As Ms. Tejas just reminded us, we also have these interim goals proposed this evening in SMART goal format. And just like we have learned before, goals are a measurement of outcomes, like the summit of ACT. An interim goal should be a measure of a particular set of outputs during that cycle. As you will see, most of the proposed interim goals here primarily focus on the NWEA exam that we have been implementing and utilizing for the past 3 to 4 years. These formative assessments, when given with fidelity, truly measure a student's individual knowledge and growth. And I would just like to say again tonight how proud I am of our campus leaders in the back of the room, our principals, for leaning in thus far and being engaged in this work. And so I'll take a little bit of time to discuss each of those interim goals you see up on the screen. Interim goal 2.1 is focused on our 9th grade students, or the class of 2029. And for this school year, we aim to have 25% or more of our 9th grade students receiving a target RIT score on the NWEA interim benchmark map growth for reading of 226 by June of 2026. I will speak on each of those individual RIT scores or target scores in a moment. Our interim goal 2 is for this school year, 25% or more of our 10th grade students, or class of 2028, will receive a target RIT score on the reading of 229 by June of 2026. Interim goal 2.3, is for this school year, 25% or more of our 11th grade students, that's the class of 2027, will receive a target RIT score on reading of 233 by February of 2026. I'd like to note that interim goal 2.3 actually shows an end target of February. The reason for this is that our 11th grade students are the class of 2027. They are the ones that will be taking the ACT exam, the summative ACT exam in March in the spring. Finally, interim goal 2.4. Now this is a measurement for the pre-ACT, as you see. And during the goal states that 25% or more of those 10th grade students, again the class of 2028, will score proficient on the reading pre-ACT by June of 2026. We'll show a little bit about interim measurements tonight for goals 2.1 through 2.3. 2.4, again, happens to be a summative assessment, and our sophomores will take, or our 10th grade students will take the pre-ACT, which is very indicative of practice for ACT in the spring as well. And so we'll be able to report on that data in June at the end of the year. Now, before I continue anymore, I would like to speak a little bit about what that RIT score is, those target measures for each of the interim goals. A RIT score is actually an individualized score that shows a student's learning level and what they are ready to learn next. It is national norm reference, so it is amongst data from all of their peers across the country. And it has the ability to indicate their ACT performance or their predictability about meeting an ACT score. And so briefly, I want to take your attention to the tables on the right. Now, NWEA provides target score values for reaching a score of 22 on the ACT. And so you see that on each of those charts in the gold or orange, or excuse me, yellow gold color. Now, again, we did not pick a 19 as a level of proficiency, as ADE identified this score. So we calculated from those values what a 19 would be at each given testing cycle for fall, winter, and spring. Not only did we use our NWEA data from last school year as a baseline, but also the provided RIT scores, target scores from NWEA and their academic level norms, as well as our calculated values for 19 on ACT. We also analyzed our standard growth measurements, the standard deviation on NWEA, and so here is where we mathematically identified these target RIT scores for ACT reading and math interim goals. Our partnership governing board with NWEA has grown, and so has it with other 8 school districts in Arizona. As a result, NWEA will soon calculate their own national norms. I imagine they'll be very close, if not these norms. And soon, tonight, you will get to see an example of actually how our grade levels in Phoenix Union are doing comparative to these very target measures. Board, it's important for us to understand the experience of a student in Phoenix Union taking an NWEA test, as that is what we are recommending to the board for progress monitoring. Now, we aim to mimic not only the importance of these assessments with students, but also the testing environment as well. And so in August, December, and April of each year, each of our students sit during the testing window in either their content class or in their advisory class on a computer, simulating the testing environment through a secure browser. As we know, testing environments should be free of distractions as well as other electronic devices, as we are wanting to assess what the students really know. Remember that this is an adaptive test, meaning it adjusts to the student's academic level, and it is not timed. Usually students will finish one of these sections of the test in about 45 to 50 minutes, and our campuses have the autonomy to spread the sections of those tests over more than one day, or conduct the test sections all in one day, similar to a state test. The importance of messaging the why behind these interim measurements in the fall, winter, and spring is just as important as the actual testing environment created, as we not only integrate ACT prep into this cycle for efforts toward our goal, but also ensuring that those environments are equally supportive and positive. And so now, board, this first slide is an attempt to show you all what progress monitoring for these proposed interim goals could look like. The chart on the left there you see is an example of the 3 to 5 year board goals that you all are going out to the community and receiving feedback on. That top one happens to be ACT reading for the 3 to 5 year goal. Right underneath it, you'll see our adopted annual target goal I just mentioned earlier. That's the 25% target for our 11th graders. And then right below that, the red box supposed to be on the side, but I'm sorry about that. The proposed interim goal we're going to give as an example, that's 2.1. So that's reading for our 9th grade students that we just reviewed. And you can see that that target RIT score for 25% of our students is a 226. The data sources are below, a little misaligned, I apologize for that, but the blue indicates that those top two are the summative ACT reading scores, and the interim goals, we actually are using the NWEA. The graphs on the right are just examples, that's not actual data. So the top graph would show an example of our 9th grade students for reading. You see the target goal in a yellow dashed line of 25%. And then you see 2 testing cycles. And so in the fall, this example shows 20% of our students reaching that target. And in the winter, it increases to show 22%. So that graph just shows what positive growth would look like. The second graph shows stagnant or no growth. And so in the fall, if 20% of our students that took the test reached that target RIT score, and in the winter as well, it would be stagnant or flat growth. And then obviously that third graph would be negative growth or a decline in the number, the percentage of students reaching that target RIT score. And so now you have seen how progress monitoring could look like. I would also like to show the board and the community what our current status is, or baseline would be, should these interim goals be adopted tonight. Here you see the first 3 adopted, or the first 3 proposed interim goals on this slide. And in an effort to identify the grade levels, to make it a little bit easier for this, we are using color identifiers. So red for our 9th graders, blue for our 10th graders, and yellow for our 11th grade students. And now this is the actual calculated data for these proposed interim goals for the fall testing cycle only. That's why you only see 1 star on the graph there. And so as you can see, for all of these interim goals, 25% is that target. It's identified on the graph there. And our 9th grade students, 20% of our 9th grade students that took the test in the fall reached that target RIT score. For our sophomore students, 17% of our sophomore students that took the reading NWA test in the fall reached that target, and 17% of our 11th grade students respectively reached their target of 233. Obviously, as we move into the second testing cycle, there'll be additional data on each of those graphs. I will now move to our next goal, board goal number 3, that's the ACT math. And I will briefly bring attention to that target of ACT math. That is 16% of our 11th grade students reaching a 19 or higher for proficiency on the ACT. And just like with reading, I would like to show you our proposed interim goals for the math. You'll see that for the freshmen, our 9th graders, 3.1 is that 16% or more of those 9th grade students would reach a target RIT score of 240 for the math. Our 10th grade students, this is interim goal 3.2, our 10th grade students would reach a target RIT score on the NWA of 242 by June. And our 11th grade students, those are the ones that will be taking it this spring, that they reach a target RIT score of 243 by February of 2026. Just like with reading, there is a section for math on the pre-ACT, and we would like to also propose that an interim goal 3.4 is that 16% or more of our 10th grade students reach proficiency on the pre-ACT, the practice ACT, by June of 2026. How are we doing thus far? Just like with reading, I'd like to show how we're doing thus far with our math. And so you see up on the screen here again, interim measure 3.1, that's our 9th grade students. The target here is identified on the graphs as 16% or more of our students reaching that target. And our 9th grade students right now in the fall, 13% of those students have reached that target RIT score. For our sophomore students or our 10th graders, we're right at the target. We're at 16% reaching that 242. And then you'll see our juniors, more than 16% according to this graph here, for the target RIT score of 243.
Mr. Camp,
yes.
Just to interrupt, is that a reflection of our amazing math teachers?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Right? I think so.
Yes,
Sorry.
most definitely. And I'll be discussing how we'd like to celebrate those achievements, look under the hood a little bit with that as well. I would at this time, board, like to bring your attention to the progress monitoring packet that you also were provided tonight. This progress monitoring packet informing us not only of the campus level data, so you will have each campus's level data on the last 2 pages, but the data is also broken down by student group. As you know, last year we had specific goals targeted towards student groups. We will still be presenting that data for both ethnicity and students identified as ELL and ESS. Now with interim goal measures, and when we see the results, and we can then look under the hood at current status, we sometimes also find some anomalies. Like the sensor in your car when you lift up the hood may be misreading or causing an engine light to come on. Our baseline data for that interim goal 3.3, you see that currently exceeds the recommended target. As Ms. Andrade pointed out, the amazing work of our teachers, it prompts us to also further analyze the data by campus and student group to not only ensure accuracy, but celebrate and replicate those effective practices. This measure, again, is 1 point in time, so maintaining fidelity of testing environments is crucial, as well as validating results. We will always continue to celebrate those results as we progress monitor and also uphold SMART goal principles. Remember that these fall results are only one measure in real time, and campuses can look at the students' data all the way down to the individual student, find out why and how they're scoring so much better, and determine and celebrate those achievements. Now that I have presented the 4 proposed interim goals for reading, Board Goal 2, and the 4 proposed interim goals for math, Board Goal 3, I would like to turn it back over to Ms. Tejas to discuss how these and other progress monitoring and SOFG business fits into the progress monitoring calendar. Ms. Tejas.
Well, thank you, Mr. Camp. Board, as we've continued our journey around the framework for student-focused outcome governance, you will see in front of you a proposed progress monitoring calendar. You will notice that we backtracked a little bit to make this match our fiscal year. So you'll see that we started in July and it goes all the way through June of 2026. So in terms of what's on here, you will notice the left-hand column states the meeting months. The column next to that is the academic and the interim goals, followed by the superintendent guardrails and interim guardrails, board education and development, and finally leadership evaluation on the far right-hand side. So if you remember all the way back to July, which is at the top of the page there, that was the first month that we really worked with Dr. Ramos around the student-focused outcome governance model for this current school year. We also did some professional development. The topics are listed there. You might also remember that was the first month that you had an opportunity to use the rubric to evaluate yourselves on the student-focused outcome governance framework. If you go down towards the middle of the page, you'll see the month of October. So tonight we talked through our proposed interim goals for both Goal 2 and Goal 3, as well as did our first progress monitoring. Some of you have been out doing the community listening sessions, so thank you for that. And then later in the month of October, you'll have a second opportunity to work through some of the student-focused outcome governance models with Dr. Ramos and also review some of that community listening feedback. So you'll see that listed as well as conduct your second self-evaluation using the rubric for the student outcome-focused governance. So you can see it continues all the way through. If you flip to page 2, you'll note that the goals are listed there at the bottom just so that the public is aware of what the goals are. And as we adopt the interim goals as well, we'll add those to this. So this is our first draft. It's a working copy as we continue to learn and grow and develop this process together. And with that being said, Board, we'd like to propose that you adopt the interim goals as stated and also the draft of the progress monitoring calendar, and we'll also open it up for any questions. Thanks.
Board, any questions, comments?
Madam President, Superintendent, question here on these proposed goals. So when we are saying that we want 25% proficiency level, according to, is it Arizona Department of Education for reading a score of 19? Is that how I understand it? So then are we also saying basically at the same time that 75% are not meeting proficiency? Is that how I understand it as well? Or is the 25% just at that number?
No, sir, you can see the previous year's proficiency rates on the goal. That's why that's what we were going over with the SMART goals. Excuse me, I'm sorry. President Napa, Board Member Cota, my apologies. Our target is the 25% for reading. And you see the previous year's proficiency rate of our juniors that scored a 19 or more was 23%. So
Okay.
yes, you are correct.
I'm correct in saying, I'm sorry, you said,
That means the rest of the students scored at least an 18 or below.
okay, so we're not saying that 25% are meeting the number 19, I guess. Is that what I have understood? Like, it's not a...
That is our target goal. Last
Okay.
year, July of 2025, 23%.
So essentially, we're saying 75% are not meeting proficiency according to Arizona Department of Education, ACT score of 19 for reading, correct?
We're looking to grow the number of students, so we do not have a high percent at this point that are meeting that benchmark. You are correct in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Board, any questions or comments? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the proposed 4 interim goals? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, Board Member Meyer, go ahead.
All right, thank you. I had a couple of questions, but I think it's more towards like discussion, if we can have that. Okay. More towards the calendar, because I see that we'll be looking over feedback from our community listening sessions October 17th. Do we have an idea of how we'll compile that feedback? Is it just from the surveys? I'm also assuming a lot of us have to rush to get at least one community session in.
Okay, so President Napa, members, back at our last retreat, we committed to, well, you all committed to doing the listening sessions and trying for a goal of getting them accomplished, I believe by fall break, which is tomorrow. And it was very advantageous of y'all. But we fell a little bit short with materials, just with the launch of schools. There was a lot going on. And there was a lot going on in the district as well. So that being said, when this calendar was developed, that was the original timeline that we had proposed. So I believe we can talk a little bit with Dr. Ramos at the retreat about what extensions that looks like, what do we need, how much more time, and then how, I believe that you're there listening, and so you're gathering, you have either a note taker with you or someone is recalling the feedback, and you're kind of bringing it all back. And then from the survey part of it, that's pretty easy to tabulate because we have the technology to bring that. So I think it's fair to say that at the October board retreat, we probably won't be reviewing the feedback from the community sessions because to date, I believe there's only been 2 schools done from member Pastor Rivera and member Cross, thank you. But we still have a lot more listening to do. So again, I would rather have quality listening than rushed listening as well. I'm sure you would as well. So as we, again, Ms. Tejas said, what you're adopting tonight, what we're asking you to adopt is this setup. As far as the fluidity of some of the things, that's always going to move and be monitored throughout the year. But we have to start with some sort of template that we want to be able to hold ourselves accountable to. Again, it's a practice year, but we worked with Dr. Ramos to develop it, and we feel like we have the right information because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. We may not meet every goal, but at least we know when we were supposed to, and then we can see the domino effect that maybe not meeting that goal creates. So with that said, I would say we are working on progress monitoring and self-evaluation at the retreat, probably not community feedback just yet, but maybe at the next retreat after that. Thank you.
Okay, that helps me understand a little bit more. And then I wonder if it's possible to add, like, in the calendar, like a section where we say something, it would be under like leadership evaluations or I think that's where it would be. I don't know. But I'm thinking about student input, like making an intentional effort to get student input. Would there be a chance to add that to the calendar of like, on this day, we'll ask students to do it during advisory or something along the lines of that?
I do believe as part of the community listening sessions, we can gather student input through advisory without having it to be called out. It can be one group. They're definitely one of our biggest stakeholder groups, right? So they should be representative. I think we got a little bit of a head start with the advisory council with Member Marquez. Thank you for presenting to them. And we have their feedback, but there was probably only a dozen of them. So there's a lot more to hear from. So I'd be happy to distribute a survey and advisory, but I would still encourage the board to get in front of students. If you value student voice, you've got to set the context for them so that they can talk and kind of understand what it is you're asking them. Sometimes when they read a survey just out of context, they don't know what we're asking. So the results can be a little bit skewed. I always find it helpful if there's a presentation first. So thank you.
Board Member Pastor Rivera.
Yeah, to address Board Member Myers' point as well, when we scheduled our presentations, communication went out to the community with parents and whatnot, and the parents themselves also brought their children with them. So the children's input were part of our listening sessions, and they were able to give feedback as well.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. Thank you. Representative Marquez.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we approve item 7A as presented.
Okay. There is a motion to approve item 7A as presented by Representative Marquez and seconded by Board Member Cross. Is there any further discussion?
Madam President, I'm going to vote no on this, so I'm sorry. I just think these standards are just way too low. If we're going to say we're teaching to a test but can't seem to apparently teach to a test, we have 25% proficiency. That means 75% are not at proficiency level. That's unacceptable.
Where we are, Board Member Cota, the board goal process is to assess where we're at and to improve. There is no school district or private organization that I'm aware of that can go from 25% to 75% in a academic year. The intention of the board goals is to improve in increments and to get to that proficiency where it needs to be. I would also like to point out that all of our schools are operating at A and B levels, right? The school ratings, yeah. So while I understand your concern, we are working on it. This is a long-term process to make sure that our students are getting the achievement attainment where we want them to be. And of course, we want them to be at 100% reading and writing levels where they're supposed to be at, not only for our standard students, but our ELD learners and our exceptional students. This is a process, this is a journey, and this is where we're starting. A motion has been made. We have the discussion on the motion. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Call for roll call.
Roll call vote. Board Member Meyer.
Are we allowed to deny roll call votes?
Not under your current policy.
Oh, okay. So something we could review for the future. Thank you. Aye.
Board Member Cross.
Aye.
Board Member Cota.
No.
Board Member Pastor
Aye.
Rivera. Representative Marquez.
Aye.
Clerk Oliver.
Aye.
And I am an aye. Thank you, Ms. Tellez and Mr. Camp. Excellent work you are doing. The next item is 7B, District Additional Assistance, DAA Override, Maintenance and Operations, M&O Override, and Bond Presentation, Dr. De Alba.
Good evening, President Napa, Clerk Oliver, members of the Governing Board, Superintendent Andrade, and Phoenix Union community members. It's with great pleasure that I provide you with a brief financial summary overview of the district's bond and override funding. In an effort to support the board goals, maintain safe and operational buildings, and shift academic programming to fit the needs of the students, community, and business sector, the district traditionally pursues local voter authorized funding sources through budget overrides and bonds. We've been fortunate enough to receive taxpayer support through the passage of these elections and look forward to continuing in future years. This presentation serves to meet the requirements set forth by ARS 15-481 and ARS 15-491, requiring each district that increases its budget through overrides and bonds to hold a public meeting each year between September 1st and October 31st to provide an update on programs or capital improvements financed through these measures. The maintenance and operation budget override fluctuates annually based on 15% of the revenue control limit. The district uses the M&O override for categories listed on the slide, which include retaining and attracting qualified educators, athletic programs, and student services such as counseling, safety, and security. The M&O override expenditures for fiscal year 25 were about 31 million, and the budget for fiscal year 26 is approximately 31 million. However, this amount will decrease due to the significant decline in enrollment in future years.
Nearly 90% of the district's additional assistant override or capital override can only be used for non-administrative services. This means that the funds can only be used directly to support students. Unspent balances roll over from year to year, providing us with a budget of just over 80 million for FY26.
The district additional override is allocated for various educational, capital, instructional resources, and tools. These funds are used to purchase textbooks and online resources, as well as tools for college and career readiness, such as Zello. Furthermore, these funds are used for preparation materials for the ACT and PSAT exams. Another expenditure includes the NWEA MAP growth, an assessment that tracks student growth in reading and math, monitoring progress towards board goals. Additionally, the funds are used to provide district-wide tools like Parent Square, which enhances communication with families in their preferred language. In addition to academic instruction, these funds are also used to provide specialized equipment for career and technical programs, performing arts, athletics, and vehicles for student transportation. This includes items like 3D printers, musical instruments, medical and aerospace equipment, and uniforms.
The 2017 bond has a 236 million authorization, and the final bond sale was completed in FY21. The 2017 bond has been fully expended.
The 2017 bond was used for projects such as the North and Bostrom outdoor eating spaces, providing students with additional areas on campus to hang out, build relationships, as well as providing students with career opportunities by serving as culinary interns in these spaces. Funds were also used for the Trevor Brown academic space and athletic fields, which included the addition of new classroom space supporting the academies, where students can choose to learn about engineering, networking, artificial intelligence, and sports medicine. The renovation at Trevor Brown also included the library, converting the space into a modern student union where students can gather, collaborate, read, and enjoy meals. Aside from this major renovation, bond funding is also used to renovate much-needed systems, such as the HVAC system at the academies at South and resurfacing various parking lots throughout the district.
The 2023 bond has a 475 million authorization, of which the district has sold 320 million, with 155 million remaining in sales. 402 million is allocated for student use purposes.
The 2023 bond is currently being used to fund renovations to the classrooms and performing arts facilities at Metrotech. As part of the district's multi-tiered safety approach, bond funding was also used for perimeter fencing at Chavez, Camelback, North, Maryville, and Trevor Brown, and shade structures at various school sites. Supporting the multi-tiered approach to safety, the bond also funded front office renovations to ensure a safe entrance at Fairfax. These funds are being used to renovate the front office at Camelback to ensure a safe entrance for students and families. Finally, the 2023 bond has also been used to complete small cafeteria renovations at Maryville, Academies at South, Carl Hayden, and other campuses. The bond will also be used to remodel the cafeteria at Metrotech to accommodate the START program, allowing ESS students to obtain job-specific skills. In addition, bond funding is also used for bathroom renovations throughout the district for athletic fields such as softball and baseball fields at North High School and the new gym and soccer field at Metrotech. As you can see, using 2017 and 2023 bond funds allows the district not only to shift academic programming while ensuring a safe and secure school and providing extracurricular activities and supports, but also to maintain and renovate the vast number of old buildings existing within the district's footprint. Again, we're very thankful for the continued community support.
72 million of the 2023 bond is authorized for administrative purposes.
This portion of the bond is used for projects such as the much-needed CEE parking lot, district fleet vehicles used by district trades and safety, and district DSF network and technology upgrades, keeping employee information safe. We want to thank our community and school board for its continued support of the district's bonds and overrides. As a reminder, the district is requesting an M&O override continuation and a DAA override increase and continuation this November. For more factual information regarding override election, please visit the website by using the QR code. Again, thank you all for your continued support in providing our students with quality instruction and programming.
Thank you, Dr. Yalba. Oh, are we done?
I can take any questions if you have any.
Board, any questions? Okay, moving on. Thank you so much. Next item is 12B, approval of recommendation to expel student 2025-26-01. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation for expulsion for student identified as 2025-26-01?
I motion.
I heard, is there a second?
Second.
I heard a motion by Board Member Cota, and I heard a second by Clerk Oliver. Is there any discussion? Representative Marquez.
Madam Chair, I just need to recuse myself from this vote.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call. Anything else? All right, we're going to do a roll call vote. Board Member Meyer?
Aye.
Board Member Cross?
Aye.
Board Member Cota?
Aye.
Board Member Pastor Rivera?
Aye.
Representative Marquez, you're abstaining. Clerk Oliver?
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion carries. Next item is 12C, adoption of revised governing board policy IKF, graduation requirements on third reading. Is there a motion to adopt the revised policy IKF as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second? Go ahead. Well, we need a second, then we can go into discussion.
All right, second.
Okay, a motion has been made by Clerk Oliver and seconded by Board Member Cross. Did I hear that? Second? Okay. Board Member Cross, discussion, questions?
Okay, in this, there's a state seal of biliteracy and a state seal of art proficiency. There's two other state seals that are not listed in this, personal finance and civics. So I wanted to change this to adopt. I had a motion ready, but somebody jumped in. Okay.
If you'd like to go ahead and, if you'd like to make a potential substitute motion, you can go ahead and indicate the language and see if the person who made the initial motion is willing to revise their motion.
Okay, so I would like to remove the paragraph on page 4 labeled State Seal by Literacy and State Seal of Art of Proficiency and replace them with the following. The district may voluntarily participate in any state diploma seal program approved by the Arizona State Board of Education by notifying the superintendent of public instruction, such as intention schools, will then identify the students who have met requirements to be awarded specific seals, which shall be fixed to the diploma and noted in the transcript of each student who has met those requirements.
So who made the original motion?
It was me. And so you're talking about the state seal of arts proficiency?
I'm sorry, no, leave them. What I'm saying is take those two out and then just say we take all the seals. There's 4 of them.
So the idea is, I think, that there are no specific references to the seals, and then as they change over the years, you won't need to go ahead as additional ones are added. You won't need to change the policy moving forward.
I'll accept it, yeah.
And then, Member Cross, you were the second. I assume that you will second the amended motion.
Yes.
Okay, the amended motion as said by Board Member Cross. Any further discussion? All right, roll call vote. Board Member Meyer.
Aye.
Board Member Cross.
Aye.
Board Member Cota.
Aye.
Board Member Pastor Rivera.
Aye.
Representative Marquez.
Aye.
Clerk Oliver.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Motion carries. 13A, next meeting. The next regular meeting of the governing board is scheduled for Thursday, November 6, 2025 at approximately 6 p.m. 13B, request for future agenda items. Members, are there any items you would like to recommend to be considered for future board meeting agendas?
And I'll just note, if you've already noted previously your agenda items, you don't need to restate them now.
All right, we're moving on. 13C, oh, board.
I just, it's not a request. I just wanted to give a particular shout out to the behind the shadow heroes. Jorge, it was his birthday last Wednesday, so thank you for everything that you do. And Lynn, it is your birthday, so thank you for all you do for Phoenix Union. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. 13C, motion to adjourn. Having concluded our business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion to adjourn has been made by Representative Marquez and seconded by Board Member Meyer. On the motion, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.